Go. Okay. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. It's Wild Wild West over there on TikTok. Just Jess, you need to go to just YouTube and get off TikTok. Got to do it. TikTok, you got to go to YouTube. YouTube or Rumble, or you're not going to be able to see or hear anything other than me. And that's a sad life. I don't recommend that. Tiffany, go to YouTube. Alicia? It's an interesting spelling. Alicia, Tiffany, Jess, Ron, go to YouTube or Rumble. Either way, same username is here, but you're not going to be able to see or hear anything other than me over there on the TikTok. Look at that. Beautiful. Figured it out. What a lovely day. What a lovely day. We're going to wait a couple of minutes and let everybody file in here. There's a lot this evening. Lilith, good to see you. I saw that you had some stuff in the Discord there. So at the end, we'll run through that channel. I think you did, right? Yeah. Purity Ball. What else? You had something else too. And Ads Addict. When I grew up, woke free job board. Redballoon.work. Commercial. Oh, I think I saw this. Yeah, so we'll hit those at the end. Ruth, what's going on? We got a couple minutes. We'll hang out a couple minutes, and then we'll go. The Discord channel is open too if you're planning on coming on to talk. Drew, you got the invite, so if or when you would like to get in, I know you're sick, so you know, if you're just gonna chill today, that's totally fine. Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, I'm alive. Barely, but I'm alive.
You just get sick from the kids, or is this one all by yourself?
And all by myself.
Oh, wow.
It was Tuesday, and like Tuesday night, all day Wednesday, and then most of Thursday, I was dead.
Really?
Yeah, but I got a little better Thursday. I was pretty much fine today. And so a few hours ago, Ashley was like, all right, you're free. So I'm actually out here in the living room with little dude right now. Well, he's not so little anymore, but.
Has he gotten big?
Yeah, he's gotten big.
It's wild, dude.
Yeah. No, right.
It's crazy as that happens. Just wait a year or two.
I know. Well, like he used to not be able to reach to wash his hands in the kitchen. Today we were like, hold on, wait, and he was like, I got it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Then they start to cook, use a microwave. Then it gets scary. Gas stove.
Well, that'll be great.
Like it's great.
Personal chef.
It's great. Yeah, but they burn everything. They burn it or they
That's
blow it
true.
up. One or the other. Pastora, good
Yeah.
to see you. Mikkel. All right.
And the worst part is work only gave me 5 days, so I got to go back tomorrow.
Oh, you have 5 days off though?
Yeah, that's what the doctor wrote on the little note. I said don't go anywhere for 5 days.
So you're
So,
contagious.
yeah, I guess it said negative for flu, strep, and COVID, but she
Oh
said she
man,
didn't believe that. So
interesting.
no clue what I had.
Yeah, I mean everybody's getting sick, man. Everywhere it seems like. It was a rough
Yeah,
winter.
my sister's husband's a doctor out here, and he said there have been a lot of people coming in with flu, COVID like symptoms, but they're coming up negative on everything. So I
Yeah,
don't know what it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, not to be that person, but I mean, I think it was just a cold, you know? We just called it something. And it
Yeah,
was a little bit crazier than the normal cold.
all I know is it was terrible.
Yeah, it's rough. It's
I'd,
rough.
ra- I'd rather have COVID. COVID was easier than that.
That's what a lot of people are saying is the sickness that's going around now. Like everybody that I've talked to that's had, I mean, whatever, it's probably kind of different between, I don't know, but whatever people are getting right now, everybody I've talked to who has gotten very sick says exactly that they would have rather had COVID over what they're dealing with right now. It's hitting people pretty good, it seems like. All right, what time is it? All right, guys, we're gonna roll because there's a lot tonight, like a lot, and I don't think we're gonna get through all of it, but I want to get through as much as possible. So to kick it off, just because it's fun and I like this stuff and this brings joy to my life, I have a tweet here from Elon Musk. Elon Musk, if you don't know, for added context, and if you don't use X, formerly known as Twitter, something that recently happened with Musk is he decided that using the term cis to refer to straight people would no longer be permitted on X as a derogatory term. So when straight, what do they call it? Cis heteronormative people. Cis is a slang word essentially to say somebody is straight. That's how it's kind of evolved, at least. So Musk, being who Musk is, decided that now you can actually get derogatory marks on X for using that term in a derogatory way. So there's a conversation here between Elon Musk and a few other people. Elon said, cis is a heterophobic word. Shame on anyone who uses it. Somebody replied to him and said, we should repurpose it like the N-word. What up, my cis? Somebody else replied and said, only cis people are allowed to say it. If any non-cis person says it, they get fired from their job. And Elon Musk said, exactly. So I just thought it was funny, honestly. But X is a very interesting place for anybody who doesn't use it. I would recommend you use it because you get an extremely different vision of social media as opposed to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, because you're looking at just Meta and you're looking at it's ABC, right? Is the parent company of Google? I think it's ABC, but they own Google, and Google obviously owns YouTube, and Google and YouTube and Meta and Facebook and Instagram are all kind of on one side of not just politics, but just kind of on social norms. What is okay within society? What is not okay? They're the people who are shadow banning people and outright banning people. And ever since Musk took over, love him or hate him, there's things he does I don't necessarily approve of or like, but generally he's relatively free speech for the most part. And this is obviously sarcasm. It's a joke. But you get a very different view of social media. So if you don't use it, it's interesting if for no other reason than just that. Now, I'm kind of in and out tonight. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Mikkel, that's beautiful. Happy birthday to your wife, dude. That's awesome. Are you having a big celebration? I hope it's a big celebration. That's awesome, dude. Happy birthday to her. So anybody who hasn't seen this one, this is really interesting. It's hit the news. So by now, the thing with what we do on Saturday, I'm realizing as we begin to do this, is it's basically going to be a review for anybody who actually like tunes into anything regularly. If you're completely shut off from independent media or anything, then some of it will be new to you, but it'll essentially be review. This was from the very beginning of the week. So it says breaking: riots unfold as an NYPD responds to discovery of underground tunnels in Brooklyn Temple. This has gotten a lot of traction, and there are already massive, wild conspiracies, even linking this to things like Epstein's Island, bunch of wild stuff. But it says currently numerous law enforcement are at the scene of a riot at the Shabbat headquarters in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where individuals tore wooden panels to prevent a cement truck from sealing off the recently discovered tunnels. Police intervened by ripping wooden panels to thwart the cement truck's actions. The underground tunnels, secretly built by a group including members of the Jewish community about 6 months ago in an attempt to expand the iconic synagogue, were the focal point. Despite police intervention, numerous people refused to vacate the tunnels, leading to the arrest of at least 10 individuals after a scuffle with the NYPD inside 770. So there's a quick video here. This is wild. That's all of what's important. This last part here has already become so many memes. It's insane. But the big story is that, and it's hard to tell what's real and what's not, especially nowadays. But there are a lot more videos, and there are a lot more pictures. And there are pictures people are talking about a lot right now that they pulled soiled mattresses out of the wall and from the tunnels. And so people are connecting that on its own. They're connecting that to things like sex trafficking. And they're saying, well, there must be some element of sex trafficking with what is happening here due to the soiled mattresses. I don't know. Maybe I have an optimistic view, but that would be weird for me. So I find it very unlikely because I'm a cynic. I don't think that soiled mattresses in some kind of tunnel or hidden in walls necessarily has anything to do with sex of any kind, consensual or non-consensual, for pay or not for pay, slavery or not slavery. I can see how it could possibly be that. I don't see why that would be the first assumption. I have seen nothing else to validate that whatsoever. So if anybody else has, feel free to throw a link in the chat or let me know, and then we can find it. But I have not, and I've searched diligently. The thing to me, and then like I said, they're connecting that to Epstein's Island. So they're saying some of these high status Jews in Brooklyn had connections with Epstein, nothing to validate it, and that somehow this is tied to the sex trafficking that was going on with and under Epstein. I don't get any of that. I don't give any validation to that whatsoever because I have seen nothing to promote that in any way at all. I think what would probably make more sense, and there are a lot of theories too, is that this says that it was roughly 6 months ago. I was able to find posts and videos much longer than that, years ago. So one of the theories is that this began, or at least expedited, around the time of COVID, when the synagogues were shut down. And so they had access to the synagogues that were locked through these tunnels, like the gentleman right here is crawling out of. The idea is that they would crawl in that way and then hold worship. Possibly. Maybe that's the optimistic view. I don't know, but it's a possibility. The mattresses is where it gets a little bit sticky though, right? Like that means something. That means people were housed in some capacity for some kind of reason and intention. We just don't know what it is. So could it be sex trafficking? Sure, it could definitely be that. But I feel like it could also be other things. It could be illegal immigrants, except now, like it's obviously that's not really a problem. You can have, illegals are kind of have more rights in some cases than the people who live there. legally. But at a time, if these are years old, 5+ years old, then immigration could be a thing. You could also have just wanted people for whatever reason. Like Jews are not exempt from committing crimes, especially organized. There's a lot of stories about things like that, specifically in Brooklyn. So to me, those are possibilities. I don't know. Drew, do you have anything on the Jew tunnels? If not, you can just pass. Picks or you're not, Ghost. Fashionably late. Yeah, where you at, Ghost? He's allowed to care about me? What? These creeps don't even need mattresses. Oh, that was you, Drew. No, we're just getting started. Don't come for... I missed it. Who are we just giving Ghost crap for being late? Is that all that's happening here? It's Brooklyn. I mean, when are there not musty mattresses underground? Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Sinister Her. It's good to see you. Glad you're here. Don't recognize you, so this has to be your first time. It's good to see you, and I agree with you. That's kind of my view as well. I don't see it as... I just think it's pretty presumptuous to throw a sex trafficking label just because there are mattresses in a scenario like this. I don't personally understand it. All right, moving on. Next, progressing into something relatively similar, I suppose, is this. For anybody who has not heard, sorry, I thought we just got booted. Anybody who does not know, in Chicago, O'Hare Airport, there are tents, there are curtains up, and there are mattresses all over the place. O'Hare is being used as kind of a holding ground for illegal immigration. So as groups of immigrants come across the border illegally but legally, they are in many cases they're being sent to Chicago, right? Chicago is a very blue state. They were welcoming to this whole thing. So a lot of the migrants are coming up to Chicago, and O'Hare has become a camping ground. And actually, this has progressed much more just over the past week, to the point that they've changed the shuttle bus schedules, and they've put up big posters at O'Hare that speak to the media not being allowed in. And so this is an example from before they put the posters up of the media trying to get some footage of this and going through it. So what it says is Chicago airport overflowing with illegal aliens. The bus stop at O'Hare is crammed full of illegal aliens. Sources tell us over 600 a day, with reports of disease outbreak, particularly scabies. Bus terminal essentially not suitable for American passengers.
Where the buses pick folks up, as you can see, there are rows and rows of migrants sitting here. There's some rolled off area with that black curtain with many more folks behind it. We've asked the nonprofit workers here who they work for. They refuse to tell us. They've asked to stop filming multiple times. They've been very clear with the police that it's not against the law to film. So let's take a walk to show you guys kind of full detail of what's going on. As you can see over my right, it's primarily military-aged males. The first day, this is a pattern we're picking up. Here, multiple nationalities are represented. But I would say overall, it's a very youthful crowd, predominantly male. The migrants are free to roam around. They're coming and going from these ship structures. Here are the nonprofit workers. Hey guys, are you able to confirm who you're with? We tried, it's not going anywhere.
So real quick, just for greater context of people, again, who are not plugged into this type of stuff, these nonprofits that he's talking about in most cases are NGOs. These are non-governmental organizations. So they're essentially government organizations that are, I guess, think of it as kind of a shell company. They're offset from the government just enough to be able to do certain things that the government can't technically do. It's a loophole. And that's who, in most cases, not all, but in most cases, that's who's running these illegal programs of bringing migrants into different cities.
You see here, there's a number for ICE that was on there. It's now covered with water, but we got a photo there for folks and future FOIA investigations and litigation. As you can see, like right now, these aren't occupied. People aren't there. Where are they? They could be anywhere in the city. Nobody's keeping them in this space. They're free to go wherever they want. Again, mostly military-aged males. There's also some family units here, sadly enough. It is just a mass of people. And of course, this wide area right now, we are being filmed by nonprofit workers who work here. They do not like the transparency that we are providing. Last I checked, this is the United States of America, and we have border security laws, we have freedom of the press, and that's what we're checking out in our own country right now. So we're going to head out of Chicago here at airport. We're going to go check out the south side of Chicago, where we understand the impacts have been really severe, particularly to the African American community. And so that's where we're going now.
That's that. I think there's one more here. 1 second. But what Kat said in the chat there is accurate. I think her and I are going to, not the airport. I don't want to go to the airport. I do want to go to the south side, though. So in South Shore, if for anybody who doesn't know, we live in Chicago. So South Shore, Chicago, which is where we do a lot of work in that area. I know the area pretty well. Apparently, some camps have been popped up in South Shore. So I think we're going to take a day drive down there at some point, maybe this coming week, and just kind of get eyes on it personally and see what that looks like. There's been a lot of talk about it recently. Can you link that Twitter video in the chat, please? Yes, for sure. All right, that's the one we just played with the guy walking through. This one right here. And then this is just a longer kind of explanation of what's going on. So it says, thankfully, Elon Musk is bringing a lot of awareness to illegals being imported to vote today. Don't forget, multiple states have already voted to allow illegal immigrants, non-citizens, to vote, and many more states currently in process of passing legislation to allow them to vote. This is on the record. Quote, non-citizens have not been eligible to vote in New York, or as far as I know, in any other state since the 19th century. We're going to skip this. And we're going to go straight to the video because that's what it's from.
Non-citizens have not been eligible to vote in New York, or as far as I know, in any other state since the 19th century.
That's not true. The New York City Council voted in December to allow this. It begins January 9, 2023. Cities in Vermont and Maryland already allow this, and similar measures are under consideration in Illinois, Maine, and Massachusetts right now.
If the gentleman will yield?
Yes.
I believe those are considerations of allowing votes in municipal elections only.
Right, but thank you. That's the point. Everybody wants to know at home, why would they allow this? Guys, they're allowing it because they're going to turn them into voters. They already are doing this in New York City, largest city in America, and this is the plan of our friends on this side to turn all the illegals into voters. That's it, folks. That's what's going on. That's the game. That's why the border's open. That's why they've dropped it. Look, I respect Ms. Lofgren and all her work in this arena. Yes, I'll yield, Mr. Chairman. I'd love to hear what.
Now we're going to play the rest of it, but while we continue to watch it, how many people agree that that's the reason why? You can just say yes or no. Do you think that the borders are open to add volume to a certain side's voting base? Yes or no?
What you have to say about this?
As a New Yorker, I would love to think that New York is the entire country.
I think it's just to add more chaos. I don't even know if they know what they're going to do yet.
You think that's the only reason? Just mayhem, general mayhem?
Not general, but I don't know. I feel like they have multiple plans they could use, and they haven't settled on which one they're picking yet. I mean, I could see it going that way.
True. I mean, so a couple things to consider is even if they don't allow them to vote, that doesn't really matter because it adds congressional seats where they go. So if they you know, so that's a factor. So if you flood people into, even if they can't vote, which is part of why they're saying part of the progressive view, and again, very careful to not make this a political show, but part of the progressive view is, or part of their pushback is, well, no, they can't vote. They can't vote. They can't vote. Well, in some states, they probably will be able to, but let's pretend they could never vote. Regardless, you add population, you add density, and you're adding seats. So it still benefits one side over the other because the people coming in are adding that to that. So that's one factor. The other factor, in my opinion, is that, and actually I think it was Ian Crossland on a pod. I don't think it was Timcast. I think it was somewhere else I was listening to him. But he was talking about the war because technically, if you're being honest, we're in basically 3 wars. We're in Russia, we're in Israel, and then we're in Yemen now, as of this week, which we're going to get into kind of towards the end. If you guys don't know, we bombed Yemen. Just fun fact. So technically, in my opinion, we're in 3 different wars. And what do you do when you enter a war? You close the border, because otherwise your enemy can come in. We're doing not only are we not closing the border, we have been pulling in literal millions of people from everywhere. It's not just South America, it's freaking everywhere.
Anybody that can buy a plane ticket to Mexico.
That's it. It's the easiest it's ever been in the history of the United States as we go into 3 different wars, or as we continue a few and head into kind of Israel as a proxy, and then Yemen directly. So in my view, those are kind of things that still matter. But I do think some states are going to let them vote. I'd be pretty surprised if some of them did not at a point. I could be wrong, but let's finish this.
It is not, and consideration is being given to permitting non-citizens to vote in New York, and I believe in the capital city of Vermont. I forget which that is, but as much as I'd like to believe it, New York and Vermont are not the entire country.
But, Mr. Chairman, that's the whole point. This is what's going on, folks, at home. If you're trying to figure this out, if you're scratching your heads, you're seeing the video, you see droves of people, 2.4 million people coming over the border illegally, the president allowing, the Democrats in charge of Congress are allowing it. The deal is they're going to turn them into voters. You just heard it. They don't have any problem with that. They celebrate it. Here's the deal. We have a problem with it. The Constitution has a problem with it. American elections should be decided by American citizens. That's it. That's what this is about. That's why we're jumping up and down and screaming, my friends on the video who are commenting about this. That's why we're so upset, because our constituents are frightened that we are losing our country. We're losing our security, we're losing our sovereignty, because we're going to allow people from 160 different countries around the world to come in here and decide our elections. That's it. Here it is on record. You all heard.
So now looking at the chat, Ghost said yes. Mikkel said yes. Lilith said yes. Ghost also made a good point. I have not been thinking about the police force. I've definitely thought about the military, but Ghost said many of them will replace the dwindling police force and military numbers. This happens all the time during empire collapse, which is absolutely true. But I honestly, I haven't really thought about the police force, and I bet you're right. And that's a very, very scary thing to think about. The other thing that I did not mention with the border is that and this is totally anecdotal, and call it an echo chamber, but the reports that are coming in are that the majority, and that doesn't mean 99%, but the majority, meaning more than 50% of the people coming in are military-aged men. So predominantly, who is entering the country illegally from all over the world are military-aged men. There are also reports that some of our enemies that we've had issues with in the past, and some that we're going into issues with now, have already, and I don't have this and I have not found it, so this is total hearsay. I'll try to find it for next week. But there are photos of those individuals holding up the flags for their country in major metropolitan cities in the US. That's what I heard. I will find something to substantiate it. So very clearly, hearsay, based on things I have read. I would like to see it. But it comes from places that I trust. So, I mean, right off the bat, I believe it 65%. And then once I can see it with my own eyes, then, I'll believe it more. But if that is true, that's a very scary thing too, because that's kind of a statement. If that's true, that's a statement. It's a proclamation that we are here. And obviously we do not like you, because there is bad blood there. Ghost also said we've been instigating the civil war in Yemen for at least 15 years, probably longer, 100%. This is one of those things that honestly people don't know that. And I think of it similarly to the thing with Ukraine, where this issue with Ukraine and Russia, it did not just happen in 2022. It's been brewing since what? 2014? Something like that. I want to say 2014. So it's not a new thing. This is one of the problems that I think Americans have, is that when we get the news, we assume that it's now. This is happening now. And in many cases, what you're reading is happening now. But the root of it, in many cases, is something that's been going on for a very long time. All right, to break away from some of that garbage before we go into even worse garbage. Here's a very fun thing, and don't go away. Don't go away, because you honestly are going to want to know this. Harvard University opens teaching assistance applications for Taylor Swift course to cope with popular demand. This is not a joke. This is for real. This is so real. Our Taylor Swift course at Harvard is so popular that we need additional teaching assistants, Bert wrote. The instructor encouraged those from Boston who love Tay and have qualifications in teaching a writing course to message her directly. Bert had no problem finding suitable candidates, as over 100 Swifties offered their expertise to teach the course. I went from not having enough people who were qualified to having dozens, possibly 150 applications in just a few hours, she told WBZ TV on Friday. The course, titled English 183 TS, Taylor Swift, and Her World, will be more than just a class for students to discuss their favorite Swift songs. It will dive into fan culture, celebrity culture, adolescence, adulthood, and appropriation, and how to analyze white text, Southern text, transatlantic text, and queer subtext. Good God. The way she reaches to other parts of culture, she's someone I feel good teaching a class about, and someone who Harvard students already like and want to take classes about. We can, and even we should, through her work, make connections between what she does and other great artists who have used words in other art forms in the present and past. The class is set to begin in 2024 spring term on January 22nd. And just to show you that this is not a lie, this is Harvard's website. English 183 TS, Taylor Swift and Her World. The first song on Taylor Swift's first record, released when she was 16, paid homage by name to a more established country artist. Blah, 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 blah. But this is their official website. This is harvard.edu. This is for real. This is for real. And this just, again, if you're not plugged in to what's going on in the world, Harvard is taking a lot of heat right now because of some stuff that I don't really want to get into it tonight. But if you look up Harvard and plagiarism, you will find it very, very easily. The point is, Harvard is already being looked at by most normal functioning people as no longer Ivy League. People are not dying to send their kids there to attain status anymore because of what Harvard is doing, what Harvard is allowing. They're not interested. And so they thought it would be a fantastic idea to now make it a legitimate course that I don't know what you pay per semester at Harvard, but it has to be wildly expensive, right? So these parents are paying whatever that cost is for their children to take a course on Taylor Swift, which is incredible. And so keeping on this, a few of maybe Ghost has seen this and possibly Drew has seen this. Listen, heads up, he swears. Okay, this is your warning. If you cannot tolerate the F word, you have 10 seconds to bounce. Bad words incoming.
So the first one, that's the most famous and the most common, is working with famous people or main influencers to share information or a particular message. So I include Taylor Swift in here because...
Are you fucking kidding me? NATO's Psychological Operations Unit. It's on the screen. Center of Excellence. The NATO Center of Excellence. In 2019, Taylor fucking Swift, who I probably rage posted about 1,400 times about as a geopolitical instrument of statecraft because her goddamn IP discography was purchased by the fucking Carlyle Group.
That's true.
Carlyle Group, the private equity arm of the Iraq War, with Dick Cheney on its board and the entire Halliburton, West Texas oil mafia. They were the literal funders and profiteers of the entire West Texas military mafia, and it was jointly bought by the Carlyle Group and the Soros Group, who's the London and New York financier class of West Texas. So okay,
for anybody who's not, again, plugged in, I put the link to this in the chat if you care, just so you can look some of these things up. He's referencing a lot of things. But if you are familiar with any of these things, they're massive red flags. And if you actually connect all of it, it's pretty wild. It's pretty insane. And from what I was able to actually verify, it seems true and not surprising, if I'm being honest. So if you care and you're not familiar, the link's down there. You can look it up later.
So the fucking military-industrial complex, plus its energy stakeholders who rely on the battering ram of the Pentagon, the State Department, the CIA, but Taylor Swift's discography. She had to re-record her own shit last year in order to win her right, in order to have a parallel tracks to win back her own rights. And of course, she was wheeled out for Biden in 2020 in the Get Out the Vote. And what was it? She won Time Magazine's Person of the Year this year. And I think it was the Wall Street Journal that hypothesized that Taylor Swift would be Biden's, quote, secret weapon to win the 2024 election. Oh, and by the way, her Eras Tour, which is has the economy of I think top 20 nation states by GDP in the entire globe. Her tour. Taylor Swift is a cultural battering ram to swing hearts and minds towards the West. And the fact that here in 2019, it is her picture, and she is the first line of the NATO Psychological Operations Center's personal presentation for artificial intelligence social media censorship techniques, because they've worked with her in the past. Sorry if my mic is cracking. And as a key actor who can be trained to spread desired messaging. Okay, I'm not going to pop an artery. Namaste.
Mike Benz. So, interesting. If nothing else, very interesting. And if you actually think about it, and you are familiar with the things that he's the groups that he is referencing, most people are at least familiar with Soros, I would think. If you're not, though, it's totally fine. But if you care about this, what he's saying, in my opinion, based on what I am able to verify, it's true. It very much seems like all of it is true. She is being used, and would that actually surprise you? It's reminiscent to a degree of someone like Britney Spears. Right? Another one that would be possibly within this category, Kanye West. Used in different ways, used for different reasons, used with different intentions, but used all the same. I just thought this was very interesting. And then that paired with her being ushered in as a Harvard, which has its own connections to many of the same things, as she is a course. It's play connect the dots, man. It's interesting, if nothing else. It's very interesting. I love this meme, too, right here. Hey, babe, are we watching Ben research stream number 2? NATO Psyopalooza from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. It's got a cute little couple there cuddling, watching it. This is what you might call, what is it? What do they call it? Couple goals, relationship goals. Not at all. She's a tool. Everyone has their price, and she's accepted hers. 100%. Taylor Swift, as of this year, I believe, just rolled over the $1 billion mark, net worth wise as well. Fun fact. Yuri Bezmenov went into great detail about happenings like this. Yuri Bezmenov was the actual top G, in my opinion. Yeah, I've seen his whole thing, but it's been years. I need to watch it again. T Swift sold her soul without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Taylor Swift, a bunch of other stuff too, which we will talk about at some point, she's got a lot of weird demonic stuff in her shows. It's nothing new for Hollywood people, but her and Katy Perry were the two that specifically stood out to me, because when I was growing up, I had a crush on Taylor Swift, beside the point. But I was growing up as Taylor Swift and Katy Perry were kind of they were moving into Hollywood and going out of kind of their very indie career as I was growing up. So it was around me a lot. And now you saw where there was just this flip switch for both of them at different times, but for both of them, where they went from seeming to be like a normal artist with some kind of principles and values into this demonic slave of the system. And in my opinion, a demonic slave of actual demons. And if you haven't seen, Google Taylor Swift witch concert. She's done very weird stuff. She's doing very weird stuff. And she has how many young women absolutely captured by her opinion, by her presence, by her art form. It's not great. Not great.
I feel like if she was to invite them all to an island, they would come.
I think you're probably absolutely right. I am a Swiftie, and I would love to talk about how much I love her music. That's not what tonight's about, Katie. This, you in the Discord, you can definitely do that. Tonight is just news. We're not, talking about music or anything. So next is Houthis film military might in response to US/UK strikes. So this is what I was referencing earlier, where many people believe that we have entered into another war. The Houthis released a new video showcasing targeting capabilities and exercises performed in a Yemen desert sandbox. The display comes amid vows of new attacks on Israel-linked Red Sea ships following the massive barrage attacks by US and the UK. So I guess if you're just listening, there's a bunch of military men standing around an actual sandbox. Some kind of general is pointing to things in a model. Now, again, if you're just listening, there are men spaced evenly apart. It looks very nice, very clean. They've practiced this for sure. Good choreographer. They are flying drones up into the air. Dropping bombs on Israeli trucks just to show their precision and ability. Now dropping bombs on the Israeli flag. Again, showing precision and capability. Oh, another bomb. What's this one on? Oh, it's the American flag. Showing precision and capability. As well as intention. An Israeli tank just got blown up. These are all empty. This is a demonstration, to be clear. Israeli flag. And I actually can't make out what that is, but it looks like some kind of military vehicle. The point is, we participated in an attack in Yemen. The Houthis, from my understanding, and I'm not a geopolitical guy, but my understanding is that the Houthis are who are in control primarily in Yemen. I could totally be wrong. Please fact check me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding. So they're the popular, I guess, party, if you could call it that. My understanding also is that they're terrorists and that there's a lot of other, I know a little bit about the old Yemen stuff. I'm trying to figure out what's going on now, but we participated in an attack. This is their response. They posted this video that essentially is saying, in my interpretation, is that Israelis and Americans are the enemy. And they are showing that they have this equipment, they have the capabilities, and in my opinion and interpretation, they have the intentions to use them. What that means, what that will look like, who the hell knows? But that's that. I think I've got another one in this. Yeah, same thing. So Americans' Yemen strike targeted out of order base. The Houthis claim the base hit by the recent American strike was already out of commission. Despite the base's alleged non-operational status, Houthis vow retaliation for all strikes against them, marking all U.S. interests in the region as targets. Got a photo here, and then I wanted to see this too. So there's a response here, and it says, Houthis preparing for war. New photos released. Houthis, this is a quote, "Our war is moral, and it is not with the American people or the British people, but rather with the Zionist gang that rules Washington and London, and which has caused many tragedies around the world, and even led to the death of many American soldiers in senseless wars. Bringing down this gang is the responsibility of all people, including the American people and the British. Very interesting. So he's got a still shot here. We saw this. This is a still shot from the video I just showed. So it shows a drone operator standing on top of American flags. I didn't mention that before. They're standing on top of American flags and they're operating these drones. And then this looks like some kind of training, right? So they've got two guys with their hands over their head in the corner of a mock room. It's a tent, but there's like a vinyl door that they made laying on the ground. It's some kind of extraction or hostage or takeover of a room. They're practicing. There's an Israeli flag standing up on a table, and there's an American flag lying down on the table. I don't know if there's supposed to be some type of intention with that, the symbolism of it. I'm not sure. And then, honestly, I'm uncultured, y'all. If anybody knows who this is, please let me know. But it looks like there's an Israeli flag behind him. I don't know his name. I'm not sure who that is. I assume it's somebody of importance within the Israeli government. There's a Star of David on the sides of the tent, and then there are vinyl windows. Those are not real windows. They're vinyl. This is just a vinyl tent. But everybody, the camera view is with the machine gun. Again, in case you're just listening. Katie, I'm going to invite you on. Not a music show, though. We're not going to talk about Taylor Swift's music. But you're up. You can. What's that?
No, I was just gonna say real quick, like they make these promotional videos and stuff, but like they're all such cowards. Like as you saw, the 20 whatever years we were in the Middle East, like they take pop shots at us and then hide. Like they don't actually want to fight us anyway. So
I don't think so.
Understand?
Yeah, I don't think
what
so.
all this is for.
I think you're right. The only thing that concerns me is that I worry things are going to happen different this time, and not necessarily with this. I mean, this could be absolutely nothing, but I just have concerns that if we actually get involved in a hot war again, I have concerns that it will be different. I have concerns that, I mean, I don't know, man. Think about it. Do we look strong right now? No. Do we look as strong as we looked when the Afghan war started, or throughout really any of it? We were stronger. Like that's my problem. I agree with you, and you're probably right. In reality, you're probably right. I worry that our image has been completely destroyed as a country. I worry that our military is walking around in high heels. I mean, last week or the week before, we watched the video that Ghost gave us of I don't know who it is, but it was a transgender person, some kind of general or something.
Space Force lady?
Well, yeah. Yes. Who's talking about how, what was it? Diversity or some DEI.
Is our power.
Some DEI principle or value is one of the most important things, and is a matter of national security. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know.
And that the optics, that's what worries me, is the optics.
You got us folks out here in the country that'll stand up. It's all right.
I know, and I thank God for everybody out in the sticks.
Me and Ghost got you.
Katie.
All right, I'm done.
Hello. Can you hear me okay? Is the microphone working?
You're a little bit spotty, but we'll see if it works.
Okay. Default microphone USB audio device. Is that better?
Yeah, it's decent enough.
Okay. So hi. What do you wanna talk about? You wanna talk about Taylor Swift?
No. That's what I was saying. We're just going over news. The Saturdays are just news and current events. So I guess if you had something in relation to the things about her, then sure. But like, that's it. And we're keeping it brief.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that won't be a thing tonight, but yeah, I would love to. I'll look into it later. Okay.
Yeah, that works for sure. And then next Saturday, if you want, and you find anything out, or you want to go back and forth about it, just bring that, and we could definitely talk about it.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, good deal. Let me see. Agreed. Now let's drink our fluoridated Kool-Aid and listen to T Swift. What? No Taylor Swift. All right. I'll catch up on the Taylor Swift talk later. All right. And then this is the last one that I have, and then we're going to move into the stuff that you guys put in Discord. So I have an interesting story about this. this is what we're going to watch. Actually, let's watch it. But you guys are going to have to tolerate me putting it at a different speed. I watch everything on 2. I'll spare you and do 1.5. Oh, hold on. That's really quiet.
Yeah, part of what we said in this country is, I'm going to set an example here. There's a lot of people here who come tonight. I'm going to finish what I'm saying. I promise you're going to get the first question tonight. Does that work for you, sir? Sure, sir.
So this kid over here, it cut off. This kid interrupted him. He started saying, rah, rah, rah. He started just kind of heckling him.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Because I want to end on a note that before we do this, I want everybody in this room to understand this is how we get our country back, is we're going to speak the truth. And that's what this campaign is about. Speaking the truth, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Speaking the truth, not just to the Democrats on the other side, but to our own side, the Republican Party, right here at home.
But you lie, dude. You're a liar.
Yeah.
You lie about the reality of climate change. You lie to everybody in this room right now.
Sir, we're gonna make a deal. You know what we're doing in this country? This is the beauty of the United States of America right here. And you know what we're not gonna do? I'm gonna tell you, for those of you who watch the videos today, we're not gonna have a security guard or police officer tackle him and escort him out of the room. Because that's not how we do things in the United States. You know what we're gonna do? Is we're gonna give, young man, you know what? You're gonna have a chance to speak, but you're gonna have a chance to speak after you sit down and be respectful of everybody else in this room. And I'm gonna give you a chance to speak.
You need to respect everybody in this room.
Thank you.
Americans, but you showed up and tell Americans the truth.
Sir, you can, I see, right?
You
And
fossil fuels, dude.
we're gonna have a good discussion today. I promise you that, because I'm gonna speak some. Thank you. I promise you, sir. I promise you, sir. You're undermining the only point you want to make, and I'm gonna give you a better chance in a moment if you sit down and actually be respectful of everybody else in here. But there's a free seat. Come up right here. Come on up, buddy. Come on up. Come on up and have a seat.
You're honest woman. You say that you care about our future
Thank
and
you.
that little girl's future. How
Yes.
much money would it cost for you to actually care about us? You're running a company that's making money off of fossil fuels that are killing our communities.
If you want to have a seat and we can have a respectful discussion, we can do that. But if you're not going to have a respectful discussion, that's not going to be doing. So I don't get any money from fossil fuels. You know who's my biggest donor?
That's not true.
That's actually absolutely true.
Your company Strive owns $50 million in fossil fuels.
Because index funds of every American in this room does, and we deserve to be proud of it. And I refuse. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. This isn't productive. This isn't productive. This is what's wrong in our country. What's right in our country is we have the right of free speech and open debate. I'm sure this gentleman, I think, has something to say about a similar matter. But we have a generation in this country where we have taught that the way you're supposed to win a debate or otherwise isn't based on regional merit, but to actually just shout the other side down. We don't do that in this country. The way we do things in the United States of America is we engage in free speech and open debate on the merits. We decide at the ballot box where every person's voice and vote counts equally. We don't shout each other down. So we're going to have a respectful conversation. We're going to open this up, and we're going to speak the hard truth. Speak the truth in public. That's what we're going to do at every step of the way. That's how we get this country back. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope through the free world. And if we can revive that dream, grounded on the First Amendment, that you're free to speak your mind as long as your neighbor gets to in return, as long as you're actually able to worship freely, as long as your neighbor gets to worship as he wishes to in return, those are the ideals that our nation is founded on, that I will fight for until the very end. That is how we will revive this great country, and that is how we're going to rebuild this country, leading us to the future. Thank you for coming tonight. God bless you.
Okay, so the interesting thing about this is that it doesn't end there. So the optics of this is that he cut these people off and it stops right there. And unfortunately, and this is where I get to be brutally honest and explain this. Mario Nawfal is a source that I use for a lot. I have found him to be extremely reliable. If you're involved in this political stuff to any degree whatsoever, past the norm, you would know most Twitter spaces, most stories that break, a massive amount of it, of the honest, good reporting, including all of the Epstein files being dropped and then talked about for hours on end, like 7, 8, 9 part, hours long. It all comes from this guy. He's an incredible journalist, and the team that he has outside of his organization, wildly good, very reliable. Today, extremely disappointed. And I had the post, and when I was getting ready for tonight, he deleted it. But he posted this exact video that I was able to find. And he set it up as if Vivek Ramaswamy cut these kids off and shut down the town hall. That's bullshit. You can find the videos where Vivek gives them the microphone and allows them time to talk. This is misleading. And this is a great example of, one, I guess just what the media does. So Forbes is liable for this as well. And 2, just a moment of transparency and honesty where I get to say, I have trusted this individual personally to too much of a high degree, much more than I should have, because today I was proven wrong. Either they didn't do adequate research or he was trying intentionally to mislead people. I hope, and based on all of my past, dealings with his content, I hope it was just a mistake. I hope that eventually he posts something and kind of owns up to it. But at least he took it down, I suppose. But without a word of, hey, I'm sorry that I misled hundreds of thousands of you on accident. If it was an accident, it just bothers the hell out of me. So the point is, be extremely careful with where you get things from, and do not just trust shit you see on the internet. Anytime you see something that is substantial enough to develop an opinion in your head, for the love of God, go find out. Go actually look. Don't just read or watch something and then let that create an opinion. Verify the opinion. Luckily, I know, because I watched that whole thing with Vivek. I knew it didn't end there, and I was very bothered by it. So personal, emotional thing, but it really pissed me off. It made me very upset. L, I want to go back to your comment here so that you don't think I'm ignoring you. Why do the culture politics bother you so much? One, they bother me because they're unnecessary in the context that we were talking about them in. In context, diversity, equity is a matter of national interest and security. Just saying. How? In what way is diversity and equity a matter of national security? Other than that we should probably close the border. Diversity and equity are some of, having diverse military, I don't see a net negative to that, but I also don't necessarily see a net positive to it. I think there should be diversity just for the simple fact that you shouldn't keep people out of the military based on anything other than their ability. But equity is a military destroyer. Equity is not based on merit. It's not based on what you actually are able to do. It's based on having equal outcomes. I don't believe in equal outcomes. I want the military that fights for me and my kid and my girl. I want the military here to be badass motherfuckers who are not afraid of shit and who are able to do things and are not in the military because they were a certain color, whether that's white, black, brown, whatever. I don't care. If a black or a Mexican is more able to protect the country than a white guy, I want them in the military. I don't give a shit what color you are. As far as equity goes, equity is equal outcomes. It's not based on what you're actually able to do. I want the military full of people who have proven they're able to do the job. Not in there for some bullshit political reason, being equity. These are not the matters of national security that they are is making sure that those things are not there. I can't think of a single case of why I would want those things in there. You also said most means most of the population ever had a neighbor or friend that doesn't come from where you come from. I have no idea what that means. So if you want to explain that more, that maybe that didn't come out right. I understand sometimes when you type something, especially if it's faster, or if it's on your phone, that doesn't make any sense to me. Unless you were responding to somebody else, then I apologize and disregard. We've been trained by listening to Tim Pool, Destiny, and Ben Shapiro at normal speed. That's true. That's true. Shapiro on 2x speed will open a black hole in space-time. Yeah, he is quick enough. He's quick enough. I do listen to Tim on at least 1.5 though. Maybe that's how we achieve time travel. Diversity is a non-word. Divine it. Well said. Einstein would agree. I guess a diverse type of person. I don't know. Jeez, ghost blasting me. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Now, fun time here. I'm going to go through what you guys put in the Discord. So for anybody who is not aware, Thursday night stream, Theist Thesis, you see that right there? You can always come in here and you'll have whatever the topic is for that week, you'll see a forum. You can come in and you can add things in here that you want to be covered for Thursday. Tonight is Saturday. So you come down to news and culture, same thing. So today is the 13th, and you can see a bunch of stuff was dropped in here. So we do have to see if we're even going to be able to watch these because some of them are probably long. Yeah, 19 minutes. So how the woke infiltrate. So anything that's longer than a couple of minutes, again, I'll keep reminding you guys. And I know Ghost already knows, so you probably put it in here just if anybody wanted to see it. Anything longer than a couple of minutes, I cannot put on the stream for just obviously like time's sake. We can't do it. But if it's related to any of the other stories or anything, you can put them in here. But we can't watch them. So if they're too long, they're too long. 48 seconds.
Yesterday, Michael Fanone, former DC Metropolitan Police Officer, Courage for America Council member, and author of Hold the Line, The Insurrection, and One Cop's Battle for America's Soul. Officer Fanone, I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today. Please tell me your thoughts on this third anniversary. I'm going to try to get through this.
It says MSNBC when Trump gets reelected in 2024. All right, that's funny. I don't watch these ahead of time. Well, a few. I guess that's not true. A few times I have. The longer ones I have, because it's the only time I can watch them. The short ones I do not. I'll let it be a surprise. All right, this is good too. Oh, shoot. Shoot, is that a slur? Can I say that? I don't know if that's a slur. I feel like I'm getting set up right now by Ghost. Porch something. You guys are going to have to look. I'm sorry. Porch something, a daily problem in Montreal West. I don't know if that's a slur or not. I don't know if I can say
Montreal West is known for its large porches, but at this time of year, they are a big target for thieves.
It's something that we deal with on a daily basis.
Montreal West councillor Lauren Small-Pennefather says packages are stolen from homes regularly. While there are bylaw and police officers around, she says porch pirates are getting smarter.
You have people that are following the vehicles, and when they see a parcel that's dropped.
Oh my God, I just realized what it is. I'm so freaking uncultured. Porch pirates. I was worried that was like a derogatory term, and I was getting set up to say something racist or something. I get it. Porch pirates. I'm with it. We're good.
They then go and they take the parcel if nobody comes to the door to retrieve the parcel.
A recent FedEx survey finds porch thefts are on the rise in Canada. According to the results, 1 in 4 Canadians have had a package stolen. And as more people install porch security cameras, more acts of porch piracy are being caught on video. Provincial police are urging Quebecers to not post those clips online because they say there could be a case for defamation.
You cannot post the images yourself because you have to remember that in Canada we have a presumption of innocence, and posting that picture could be a violation of private life.
Instead, he says if anything is stolen, call 911.
If you get some proof that somebody might have stolen something, then call the police, give the proof to the police, and then we'll do the investigation. We'll bring that person to justice and we'll file some charges.
I can't read it. Oh no. The police after you posted footage of the thieves online, you are making them look bad. That's wild. So apparently in Canada, did they say that they're going to put a law around? Well, yeah, defamation. There could be a civil suit. So you could get sued in Canada if you post videos of people committing crimes because of defamation. But it makes sense. This is also the country where doctors are telling you to take yourself out of the equation rather than taking insulin. So it's believable, I guess.
I'm here, Joe. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, what's up?
How's it going? I don't really have anything to say. I just want to let you know I'm here.
Oh, you're good. I was just talking
But
shit.
if something comes up, I'll jump in.
All right, Lilith, hopefully this isn't long. Shoot, 4 minutes. Purity Ball video of House Speaker Mike Johnson, daughter uncovered.
Controversy has erupted around House Speaker Mike Johnson, and I'm trying to assess, I don't know, how big a deal this is or ought to be. ABC News uncovered a TV segment today from 2015 showing Speaker Johnson attending a controversial formal dance event called a purity ball with his then 13-year-old daughter. Segment from German news station NTV features clips of Johnson and his daughter Hannah at the ball putting a corsage on her wrist and shows Johnson's daughter vowing to him to live a life of purity, as well as her signing a pledge to abstain from sex until marriage. Oddly enough, the video has now disappeared from the internet, despite the ABC report linking to it on the German TV station's website.
Sorry, I want to make this bigger for you guys.
A new controversy has erupted around House Speaker Mike Johnson, and I'm trying to assess, I don't know, how big a deal event called a purity ball with his then 13-year-old daughter. Segment from German news station NTV features clips of Johnson and his daughter Hannah at the ball putting a corsage on her wrist and shows Johnson's daughter vowing to him to live a life of purity, as well as her signing a pledge to abstain from sex until marriage. Oddly enough, the video has now disappeared from the internet, despite the ABC report linking to it on the German TV station's website. And you click on the link, you see it starting to load, and then it says it's no longer available. Well, I don't know why, but these purity balls were popular, especially in the early 2000s, among some conservative Christians. Dads wear tuxedos, the daughter dressed in a ball gown. The reporter in the piece commenting, "This looks like a wedding, but they are not bride and groom, but rather father and daughter." Johnson's wife, who's a Christian counselor, telling the station sex before marriage is simply out of the question. Left, of course, will have a field day over this, fueling the narrative that Johnson's a religious kook, which has been a talking point for them. But I don't know, maybe this is pretty wacky. I just don't know enough about it. Joining me now is Linda K. Klein, author of the book Pure, Inside the Evangelical Movement That Shamed a Generation of Young Women and How I Broke Free. Thanks very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so you say this is a big deal. Tell me why.
Absolutely. Because what this reveals is that we are talking about not a mainstream conservative Christian, but a extremist. Really, even among purity culture advocates, purity balls are extreme. You know, a lot of folks, even within the movement, find them a little creepy.
How much did you experience dealing with things like purity balls?
Yeah, I did grow up within purity culture, but I did not grow up within the kind of extremist culture that we're talking about that does these purity balls. I mean, just to give you a little bit of a sense, a purity ball is really something that you've got a group of, oftentimes a very traditional purity ball. You've got a group of young children, girls around the age of 12, 13, along there. They're in gowns that are not just ball gowns, but white ball gowns, wedding gowns in many ways. And their fathers, and together their fathers are in suits or tuxedos, and they have a dance and they have a dinner, and it culminates at the end with this sort of placing of the purity ring, often on the ring finger, the girl's ring finger, as a promise to her father and also to her father in heaven that she will not defile her sexual purity before marriage, not just not have sex, but defile her sexual purity in any way. And then eventually the idea is that this ring stays on her finger until it is replaced by her wedding ring by her husband, which essentially symbolizes the transfer of ownership over her sexuality from her father to her husband.
Jesus
Let me read you. This is
Christ.
from the Washington Stand. It's run by the Family Research Council, an evangelical group. The headline is, "Mike Johnson is a good father. The left hates him for it. That is a beautiful commitment, though one might wonder why ABC finds it newsworthy," because ABC is the one who broke the story. "As they come of age, young girls should be thinking about the future effects of their decisions for themselves and others. Such guidance could spare many women the heartbreaks and despair caused by hookup culture." What do you make of that?
Absolutely agree that girls should be encouraged to make their own choices. Unfortunately, purity culture does not teach girls how to make their own choices. It tells them what their choice has to be. And what their choice within purity culture has to be is to maintain their utter and absolute purity. And purity, again, is much larger than whether you have sex before marriage. It has to do with purity of thought, purity of mind, making sure that you don't inspire sexual thoughts within a man or a boy by what you wear or how you walk or how you talk or anything about you. So we really are talking about the erasure of choice, not the offering of choice. I do believe that girls and women should have choices, and not having sex before marriage is a absolutely fine and healthy choice among many.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find news.
All right. Is that all right, we're going to do a poll. I'm curious, actually. Is the purity ball creepy? Yes or no? Yes or no? Oh no. Did I just lose it? Did that come through right? No. Hold on.
No, it didn't.
No, it did not. I'm saying it like pulled all the questions off. All right, here.
It is creepy though.
You think? Why? Like what? I guess I can see both sides. I can see both sides. Why
I
is
just
it
think
creepy?
that it's completely unnecessary.
Sure, but does that make it creepy?
Well, I think it's unnecessary partially because it's creepy. They're interlinked. I don't know. Like it should be something
fair
that's
enough.
a little more insulated, like private to the family or you know.
Okay, I get that.
It's a little virtue signaling just on the other side of things, and it's all
Yes.
cringe.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. I get that. I get that. I guess I like the intention. Should it be like the not to be an asshole, but the pure intention? It's totally a virtue signal. I think I've heard people describe it as like, similar to a baptism, is like it's a public declaration of your commitment to it. But it is kind of odd that it's set up in such a way that it's like, it's almost like a mock marriage. It's the dress, the suit. It's often held in a venue like that. It is to some degree creepy. I understand. I'm actually pretty surprised it's almost 50% split. No, it is not, Jocelyn said. The wedding parallels and the father putting the ring on the daughter makes it creepy to me. I get that. But I also get the other side. I mean, I'm a dad. I have a daughter. Like I could never do that, but I can to a degree understand, like, should you not be a creep and have good intentions? I guess.
Yeah, but Joe, but what you're going to do is you're going to speak to her privately and kind of show her consequences and kind of like explain things. You're not going to like throw a ball. Like that's,
yeah, I mean, for sure.
Kind of insane.
For sure. Yeah. It is odd. It is very odd. Really creepy. Also making a pledge or vow that most likely won't hold. I think that's kind of beside the point. I mean, for some of them it does. Like I'm sure there are some girls who actually stick to the pledge, just because culture is completely fucked right now. There are people who do keep their virginity.
Well, I guess it's something for rich people to do.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
I mean, that's probably
okay.
That's pretty true too.
I mean,
I would think.
The rich and powerful, the Hunger Games, that kind of stuff.
Multiple sex partners can be detrimental to your health. Purity promotes good health. Yeah, Jocelyn, I mean, I think most of us are 100% with you. We've talked about sex and oxytocin and parabonding and things like that. I mean, that's absolutely true, for sure. I think that's beside the point, though. I think really is this way of doing the purity event between a father and a daughter, is it weird? Is it weird or not? Well, what you said is true, and I think most everybody here would agree with that. Too many antibodies can cause you not to donate or receive organs. Interesting. Okay, moving on. That's kind of odd. I like him, though. I don't mind him. He usually has some decent stuff to say. How long is this one? Beautiful. Whoopi Goldberg begs Liz Cheney to run third party and stop Trump. I'm on one knee. January 11th, 2024.
And I have a question, because I have felt for a long time that there's no reason why you can't find somebody smart on the left and somebody smart on the right and put them together and make that the new party. Do you see yourself, and would you ever consider being the conduit to that third party? Because I don't know if the Republican Party, as we knew it, will survive this. Because if he ever gets in again, we'll never have any more elections. There will be no more. He will stop it. And he's very clear about that. He wants to be dictator for life. Okay?
Trump, according to Democrats and rhinos. Good God. Jesus Christ. All right. Is this going to autoplay something? No, okay, good. Jocelyn, this is in regards to the purity thing. She said, I don't think so. I think people take things they don't understand too far. I agree with that. And that's why to some degree, I am on the fence about the purity thing. I think it is kind of weird. I think that's taken a little bit too far, because I agree with Ghost. Like, why could that not be done in private with your daughter? I have a daughter. Her and I are extremely close. We're definitely going to have that talk at some point. She's too young now, but at some point. And I don't think I would like put her in a dress and rent a venue. And But that's me. I mean, people can do it, and if they have good intentions and there's nothing weird between them, to each their own. Completely. She's a puppet. Yeah, so about that too, I should have said something about that. One, Whoopi Goldberg is just god awful. In every possible way, she's god awful. And some of the things that she has been allowed to say on that show are insane when considering some of the flack that people take for saying other things. Or back in the day before Musk, the things that people get banned on Twitter for is just, it's fucking wild. It's absolutely wild. But Liz Cheney is not a Republican, if we're just being honest and factual. She is absolutely an imposter. She's a puppet, like Kat said. She is just another in the same category as Nikki Haley. They are the facade. There's not a Republican bone in their body. God, Emperor. Jesus Christ. All right. What you got here? Absolute chaos as Democrats crush to defend Hunter Biden. Oh, this sounds lovely. Let's go. Let's go. House Judiciary hearing on holding Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress. Is this in regard to him not showing up to that court date? I'm pretty sure. January 10th, 2024.
3, 2. All right. Time's expired.
Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous,
I believe this was
unanimous
after.
consent to enter information for the record.
What's the information?
Take
the information.
Thank you.
I reserve the right to object. The minority has not provided a copy of the material for the record. In the past, she's displayed pornography. Is pornography allowed to be, or pornographic photos allowed to be displayed in this committee room, Mr. Chairman?
It's not pornography.
Okay, you're the expert.
I'm not an expert, Mr. Seems Raskin. like it.
Mr. Chairman, I object to the
this
unanimous
is,
consent
Mr. Chairman,
request.
Mr. Chairman,
All you need is
objection.
one objection.
We need decorum. I'm going to let the lady state, and then if you
I love her.
object, we'll go from there.
Mr. Chairman, don't we have an opportunity to review the material before
I
it's
reclaim my
provided?
time. I reclaim my time. Mr. Chair, I reclaim my time. I'd like to enter for the record an excerpt from a bank statement,
there's an
a bank
action.
statement that's
Mr. Chairman.
public in regards
object?
to Hunter Biden
Mr.
and
Mifune
his
has
bank
already
accounts, in his payments.
Mr. Chairman, I object to the styrofoam board. It's not a
Reclaiming
document.
order. Reclaiming order. We'll.
Clearly, Democrats today don't want the truth to come out.
Mr. Chairman,
But
this just
I-
means that
I would
any
like
member will be
enter
able
for
to
the
add to
record-
their 5 minutes by putting on a display of
Mr.
placard.
Chairman, I'd like to enter for the record
I think
a
that all
statement
members-
from a bank report that
Is this worth reading? Excerpt from a SAR report. JP Morgan Chase is filing a suspicious activity report, or a SAR, which originated from an external referral for translation. For transactions involving non-JPMC accounts held by a politically exposed person, or PEP, who remitted funds to various JPMC and non-JPMC customers. Some of the recipients have ties to the adult entertainment industry, while others were unknown or were listed in prior SAR filings related to human trafficking. Additionally, the source of funds for the transactions is unknown and inconsistent with the known line of business. This activity was transacted by non-JPMC customers Robert Hunter Biden, also known as Hunter, and his law firm OWASCO PC. Activity being reported totals $150,000. All right, I guess they already rounded up. So $149,843 rounded up between the dates of 10/24/16 and 5/10/2019.
shows
Can we
proof
get some order
of
here?
Hunter
Mr.
Biden's
Chairman,
bank account
where are we
and
in the-
human
All right,
trafficking.
okay. Let's hold off on this. There's several objections. We're going to talk staffs between each other.
Sinister.
But I understand. I think what you're saying is from the laptop.
Someone on this committee accused me of revenge porn, and I have a right to respond to that, and I'd like to enter
But within the rules of the committee,
for
everyone.
the
Mr. Chairman.
record. This is important evidence for the record, and it pertains to our investigation into Joe Biden and
Shut
Hunter
up,
Biden.
Kat.
This comes
So
from
do it behind closed doors.
comes
Like you do
from-
it.
It doesn't appear to be bad, but you ought to.
But, Mr. Chairman, she's got 9
relevance
placards there. Does she get an additional 5
But
minutes or 10 minutes?
I don't understand how any of you who support the
Well, what's
genital
the order?
mutilation
Okay.
of children
We're
and
gonna
drag queens
we're
showing
gonna
their
we're
body
gonna
parts
reclaim
at parades
order here.
are
We'll
offended.
suspend and let the staff discuss the evidence from the laptop being entered into the record. Chair now recognizes Mr. Fallon from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, so,
okay, hold on. We suspend, so we need to stop for a moment. Okay, hold on. We'll get this.
Mr. Chairman, I object to the
this
unanimous
is,
consent
Mr. Chairman,
request.
Mr. Chairman,
All you need
I
is one objection.
Democrats when they see the receipts against Hunter in a public hearing. Guys, is it a problem that I play it that fast? Honestly, if most of you would rather I didn't, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just trying to save everybody's time.
Was there ever?
Oh, Jesus. Candace Owens tells white liberal to stop speaking for black people. Here we go.
Was there ever a point in history where white privilege did exist?
Of course, there's examples in the history of the world where you would have been privileged if your skin was white, especially in this country. But today, no, white privilege does not exist.
When did it end?
Like when there stopped being laws in place that stopped me as a black person doing what you're able to do as a white man.
When?
What do you
Mid-1970s.
Mid-1970s. So mass incarceration affecting black and brown communities disproportionately
Because they
to their
committed
population.
more crimes.
Why? Why did they commit more crimes?
Because
they
we
were
ripped
black,
apart
or
the
was it
family.
Saying what you're saying and standing up
Ooh,
here and knowing
got
what's
him.
going on through the police brutality, through injustice.
I
all
love
this stuff.
this is so.
You're
I
a
guys,
joke.
I love that behind me. There's like black people rolling their eyes, but the two white guys are yelling at me, telling me I don't agree with them. This is what I love about white liberals, right? Like they know
I'm not a
it's so
liberal.
important
You're a
for
Marxist.
them to sell us
No,
our
I'm not.
oppression that they'll come up and tell us we're under grace. Hey, just say
Can
it.
you speak for
well,
all
why
black
don't you
people?
stop speaking for black people? That would be
not.
great. Okay?
I'm not.
Was there ever a point in history where white
That was good. I haven't seen that. That was good. Woke heckler sent to bed. Sammy Obedi? What? How do you even say that?
It's good. What's that? Say you need to stop picking on people. Start doing real jokes. I went to UC Berkeley. I majored in math. Yeah, all right. Go Bears. We got a lot of Bears in
I have a list of a few people I wouldn't want to get in an argument with.
comedy now.
There are two of them.
Wait. Say that again.
I said them two were two people that I wouldn't want to get in an argument with, like
Candace Owens?
an open debate. Yeah, and what's his name?
Shoot, what is his name? Isn't he with God, Ghost, do you know? Who's the guy in that with Candace? God, he's with one of the big like right wing
Oh, that's
shit, who is that?
Charlie Kirk.
Yes, Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk. Thank you. Yeah, no, I would not want to get in an argument with either of them. Thank you, Kat. Yep, Kirk.
A lot of people don't like math, but half of us are math people. Half of the world is technically above the 50th percentile. You know what I mean? If you don't know what that means, you're below it. That's just a simple test, right? It's a mean joke if you know what I mean. But I write a lot of math jokes, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to use my degrees, pun intended. Now, people don't really respect them. Like, I can't go up to a girl at the bar like, hey, girl, your legs make a triangle so right. What did the triangle say to the square when they were buying a house together? Cosine, Sammy Obey, nice to meet you. I should be in. I should be in right there. But no, she's yelling at me. She's going off on a tangent. You know what I'm saying? I'm the tangent, guys. These are math jokes. They're all math jokes. All right. My family's originally from Beirut, Lebanon. Thank you. Go Beirut. I've never been there. I've been to New York, which is a little closer. Now, in New York and on the East Coast, they call the game beer pong Beirut. I didn't know that. Yeah, they call it beer pong Beirut. My friend in New York's like, hey, bro, you want to play Beirut? What kind of creepy racist question is that? He's like, come on, man, it'll be fun. I was like, all right. So I took him hostage. I didn't know how the house rules were. You know what I mean? But I'm part Lebanese and I'm part Palestinian, so I'm in the news all the time right now. Now, it's crazy because I'm Palestinian. My roommate is Jewish. So we always fight over where his room starts and mine ends, okay? So, I mean, he pays more rent, but I've been there longer, you feel me, all right? You feel me? We look the same. Now, it's tricky, I understand it, it's tricky because the Jews were in Israel first a very long time ago. They were there, but then they left, they left. It's like you leave your towel on the bench press at the gym, and then you go, you leave for 3 hours. Someone's gonna grab that towel and wrap it around their head. But the thing is...
Oh my God.
We share culture all the time, me and my roommate. I asked him, I said, hey man, what do you like most about being Jewish? He's like, I never thought about that before. I was like, just give me something off the top of your head. So he gave me his yarmulke. And I'm kidding. He sold it to me. Come on, these are all fun jokes. Everybody has a good time. Preach the cultural relations. It's very important. It's good. What's that?
Say you need to stop picking on people. Start doing real jokes.
I'm just going to repeat what he said, and I'm not lying. He said, you need to stop picking on people and start telling real jokes.
What?
Now.
Why are you applauding yourself, you jackass?
My brother. Okay, look. I'm a person, you're a person. I'm talking about real shit. Majoring in math, did that. Palestinian Jewish roommate, did that. Family from Beirut, did that shit. This is all real shit, brother. This is all real shit. This is my life. This is my life. You don't like talking about race? You don't like talking about race? Is that your thing?
It's the cheap way out.
It's the cheap way out, man. Well, you know what? Race is a reality to me, man. And it's a reality to most people. And I'm making light of it. I'm making light of it, brother. Why would the majority of the crowd be booing you? If it's... Did I have a turban? No, I do not have a turban. However, I will say, okay, look, you had a turban growing up, I didn't. Is that what you're saying? I get mistaken for being Indian all the time. And it annoys me too because there's a difference, bro. People are like, you're Indian. I'm not fucking Indian. You can't just pick any brown person and call us Indian. You're not Columbus. That one's for you. That one's for you.
Dead.
There's nothing wrong with being Indian. All right, let me get out.
No. More. I'm not stopping you. I'm stopping you. You were handled. Let him finish his set. Thank you. But that was a master of work.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I won't pick on anyone. I won't do any more racial jokes, okay? I'm just saying my best friend is Indian, so it's an arranged friendship, and we're very close. I was born here in Oakland, and I was raised in Fremont. Fremont is a lot like Oakland, less urban, more turban, if you know what I mean. And that's, thank you so much. My name is Samuel Bay. This is real shit.
Oh, shit.
I've been talking about...
That was good, man. I like that a lot.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company.
Oh, yes, I did see this. This is lovely. Hold on.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company, like super woke. When I grow up, I want to be hired based on what I look like rather than my skills.
I want to be judged by my political beliefs.
I want to get promoted
based on my chromosomes. When I grow up, I want to be offended by my coworkers and walk around the office
on eggshells
and have my words policed
by HR. Words like
grandfather,
peanut gallery,
long time no see,
no can do.
When I grow up,
I want to be obsessed with emotional safety and do workplace sensitivity training all day long. When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder.
Just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist. I want to weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
It's time to grow up and get back to work. Introducing the #1 woke-free job board in America, redballoon.work.
Yeah, that was really good. I think that came out just before Christmas sometime. That was good stuff. That was very good stuff. All right, guys, we're done. We're out of here. A couple things real quick, and then if anybody has any last notes or anything like that, you can let me know. Anybody who is new or you're watching this later and you are not in Discord, join Discord. There's a link in the description of the video. The events tab, even if you just do it for the events tab, it's at the top left. All of the events for the week will be up here. So we have Sunday night at 6 p.m. We have Thursday night at 7 p.m. now. And then we have Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Now that they're all different times, unfortunately, they all used to be the same time. All different times. The events tab is more useful than ever. So just be aware of that. And then, like I said earlier, for the Thursday nights, the topic will go up here. I posted the poll late. Sorry, I forgot, honestly. This is the honest answer. We had a snowstorm. My head was other places and my routine got messed up, and I am a creature of habit. Otherwise, my entire life falls apart. But the poll is up now. So go vote on the poll. It's I think I dropped it in the off topic, but it's always posted originally in the announcement section. So go vote on that for Thursday. As soon as that closes, I will put that topic in the Theist Thesis section here. And then if you have any content you want covered for that stream on Thursday, put it in there. As soon as we are done here tonight, I will post the next date, which will be next Saturday. And then you guys just do your thing. Drop stuff in there. Anything you want shown, we'll do it at the end every Saturday. I think that's mostly it. I guess the only other thing, if you guys could, and I posted it in off topic, but Rumble is going to be our backup. Because let's just be real. Some of the stuff that we talk about, YouTube is not fond of. I think we do it in a mostly respectful way. And I don't think we cover anything like that crazy. So honestly, I'm not really worried about it. But if we start getting hit on YouTube and something happens to happen, I'm starting to back up everything on Rumble just in case. So you can see right now the stream that you guys are on, there are 3 people on Rumble watching it also. So the stream will go both places. So if YouTube kicks us off, try Rumble first. because if it's just YouTube, Rumble will be good. If what happened on Thursday happens, where I think that was my internet connection due to the storm, where Rumble, Twitter, and YouTube all went down, then just default here to Discord, where we're at right now. And we did, and we finished Thursday in here, and it was great. It was a wild, very long stream. It was wonderful. But if YouTube dies, go to Rumble. Rumble also not online anymore. Come to Discord, because worst case scenario, I'll get on my phone. Because I if the internet dies, I should still have cellular, and we can still at least finish the stream, at least for the most part. So that's kind of that. He'll never come back. Good night, Hope. Good night, Hope. To catch the next live stream, maybe less politics, more theism. Saturday is basically politics. Is the honest answer to that. So come on Thursday, Come on Thursday or come on Sunday. Sunday night at 6 p.m. is a Bible study. There's no politics, Bible study only. And then Thursday is a specific topic, but it's rarely politics. It's rarely political, but sometimes it does get political. But it's mostly topics having to do with faith and things like that. So I would avoid Saturday if you don't like the political stuff. Avoid Saturday. Saturday is literally just news and culture. People come to Memphis once. Is that true? Is that true? All right, I guess, guys, do you have anything before we bail out of here for the night?
No. It was a good pod.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
I think I'm gonna head out.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too. Good night, everyone.
All right, guys.
See y'all.
We are out. We are out. We are out. Have a good night, guys. Love y'all. Be safe. See you in Discord. If you're getting snow, be extra safe.